You're fine, man. She's in Florida, right? I know, isn't that something?
You're not working. Austin is branch 7, but you're working in branch 3.
Ask her for one increase at one time. I asked him to hold up for just a few minutes because you were on the phone.
Yes, you're busy.
Yeah, what happened is a cataclysm that really has not been seen in this part of the Texas coast for years. This is entirely unprecedented rainfall. I'm sure you saw the press release yesterday where the National Weather Service actually had to put more colors into their rainfall map to accurately map the amount of rain that's fallen as a result of then Hurricane Harvey, now Tropical Storm Harvey. This is an event unlike any other we've seen on the Texas coast, and it's an event that we are here to do anything we can to provide aid and assistance for the people of the Lone Star State. The way it works is, according to the Stafford Act, the legislation which created FEMA and sets up all of our programs to help, the governor of each state has to put in a request to the president. Once the president declares a certain area a disaster area, designating by county, we roll in and we immediately begin setting up to provide help. In this instance, Governor Abbott was very proactive, very forward-leaning, got the request in very quickly to help his people, and President Trump was more than happy to match his speed. And I believe the declaration went through in something like under 6 hours or something like that. Very quick. Right, so really it's more of a marble cake sort of thing. Everyone thinks of it like a layer cake. Everything just sort of, here's the local, tribes, territorial, here's the state, here's FEMA. In instances like this, it really is a marble cake. It's all of us working together. We say in FEMA that all disasters are local, and that's because they know best. They know their people, they know the area, they are intimately aware with how hard hit they were, and we need that knowledge and that sort of firsthand sort of, it's almost like you know it without knowing you know it. That's what we're looking to partner with in these instances. FEMA doesn't come in like the FBI or, let's strike that. FEMA doesn't come in waving its badge around saying this is our show now. We work in partnership with the states and the local government. That includes our tribal partners and our territorial governments as well. So in an instance like this, we work alongside our local and state partners. We don't come in lording anything over them. We're here to help however possible, and we're happy to work with anyone on any level of the government to make sure that happens. Right, okay, so there's a saying in FEMA, and that's that all disasters are local. There's not a stratified locals here, county, state, federal. We'll come in to work with all partners on all levels, especially in an instance like this with Harvey. This is an all hands on deck sort of situation. So there really isn't going to be clear areas in terms of federal only does this, locals only do this. It's going to be, we come in and help anyone in any way we can on any level we can. That's how we're going to bring aid to our citizens as quickly as possible. Well, it's definitely an across the board help. You guys are a force multiplier for disaster response, especially in instances like this. We've all seen the catastrophic images out of Houston. The water levels, people needing air vacs, it's things like that. Like, you guys have tangible resources that we don't, simply because your missions require that. High water vehicles, semi-rigid hull inflatable boats like the Zodiacs. You guys have rotor capability that we either have to borrow from Coast Guard or we don't even have ourselves in a lot of ways. You guys really bring to the table resources, skills, knowledge, and capabilities that we may not have in FEMA or may somehow accentuate what we already have. You know, to be honest, I don't really know the particulars on that. What I do know is where I have worked with Army North. For instance, your case units who are accompanying some of our people in the field, because we have an acute shortage of the capability to gather images in the field right now, both still and video, interview capabilities like that. DCE and how it gets called in is on a level much higher than my pay grade, but what I can say is that whenever DCE is activated, we see benefits very quickly in terms of the units who are brought into the field to support our mission to help survivors. So there's just especially in an instance like this in Harvey, where we're not just working with your normal, quote unquote, normal set of federal agencies. We're also seeing the Department of Agriculture come in and look at the things from their point of view to specifically help farmers and those involved in the ag sector. Small Business Administration is always attached to the hip with FEMA. We're always happy to have them there. They're a huge asset to us. They're a major help in terms of helping people get back on their feet. The way that FEMA and the Small Business Administration works is FEMA comes in, we offer that stopgap. It's like those tests where you cross your arms and you fall backwards. We catch you and keep you from hitting the floor. SBA is the one who helps you get back on your feet, because recovery isn't just something that's done in 3 or 4 months. It's something that takes years for all of us. And they're more than happy to provide the long-term assistance to help people get back on their feet and running in their homes, their businesses back up and running, the economic lifeblood of our cities and communities. American Red Cross is absolutely crucial when it comes to making sure that those who have lost their home have a dry roof over their head and a place to sleep and some food at night. They're not a part of the U.S. government, but they're an absolutely invaluable aspect of American society that helps us. It just goes right along with everything else going on. Right now, there's no ego. There's no major fight over who does what or who has what. It's who can bring something to the table to help the people who need it. And across the board, we're seeing just everyone come and rally around the flag. If I could sum it all up in one phrase, talking about partnership, that would be that we're all among our peers here. This isn't one of those things where people are going to be fighting to talk about who's in charge. We're all here because we want to do something for people who need it the most. Nobody in our situation likes to get this call. It means something very bad has happened to good people somewhere. But everyone is absolutely selfless and united in their desire to do something good for the people who need it the most.